Hey there folks, it's June 24th, 2011, and it's 2:23 a.m. in the morning here. I just wanted to double check the news, make sure, see the update on that quake. But other than that, I've been just watching the comments and got a few interesting comments. You know, some people are writing, you know, when the end of the world doesn't happen, what are you guys going to do? You know, that we report on the earthquakes and stuff. First of all, let me make one thing clear for all of the people who haven't heard this from me before. I never said the world was going to end. In fact, I think the world's going to keep on spinning for another 50,000, if not longer. Another 50,000 years, unless something major happens with the sun, like you know, another maybe 3 million years when the sun goes supernova. The earth may be destroyed, but the world isn't going to end, okay? Now, with that said, anybody that is very fluent with the Bible knows there are a lot of stories in many, many religions and many, many cultures that the world has had a major, major event hit it. Did the world end? No. Everyone knows about Noah. Noah and the flood, Gilgamesh, and a whole bunch of other stories. Well, every culture has a different story about a great flood that happened in the world. And we're still here. I mean, the world is still spinning around like it always has been. The only problem was, a lot of people on the earth, when the dinosaurs had that extinction thing happen to them, whether it was an asteroid or whether it was something else, or the Noah event, when the great flood happened, I'm sure the world ended for a lot of people. You know, their lives ended, not the world, you know. So when people say that to me, to make me look stupid, you know, oh, when do you think the world's going to end? I think they do that for two reasons. They do that for their own self, really, to make themselves feel comfortable. Because if you put down someone else to make them look crazy, then you feel more comfortable that everything's going to be fine. And that's why I think the major people, most people do that, just to make the other person look stupid. The same thing with, you know, I mean, unidentified flying objects, you know. You call it little green men, you know. Oh, you believe in those little green men, you know, that kind of stuff. So, for those people who say, you know, when is the world going to end? What if the world doesn't end in 2012? I never said that. The world's going to keep on spinning for another 50,000, maybe another million years. Who knows? But there will be a lot less people on it in a very, very short time. From what I'm reading and what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, I think these tornadoes, these storms, these earthquakes, these floods, these droughts. Here I said droughts and floods in the same sentence. That sounds crazy too. I'm sure I'll get comments about that too. You know, how can there be droughts and flouts? I can't even talk anymore, guys. How can there be floods and droughts at the same time? Well, there is. There's droughts in Texas, and there's flooding elsewhere. There's too much rain in one area, and there's too little rain in another. And that's exactly what I see happening. Of course, we have to watch the earthquakes and the tornadoes. Just today, we had a storm go by, a major storm in Jersey, that had a possibility of tornadic activity. So every time there's a storm now, I have to be much more alert, see what direction the storm is going, and watch the TV much more intently than I ever did before. Of course, now a severe thunderstorm just doesn't mean flooding and lightning and thunder. Now it means a possibility of a tornado forming in my area. So that's what's changed. And not too much else going on. Didn't hear anything about the quake yet. So far there hasn't been any tsunami that I know of that hit, so that's pretty good. And another thing I wanted to touch on today, I heard, watching the news, when I heard the strategic oil reserves were going to be tapped, the first thing I thought of is that was strange, but I really didn't, you know, give too much mind to it. I was like, that's strange. They don't usually open the strategic oil reserves unless there's an emergency. That's why they're called the reserves. If there's a major emergency in the world, then you open that up as a last resort. So I thought that was kind of strange. And then tonight I was listening to Blog TV, and F-Town was on talking about the Middle East and stuff. And he pretty much also thought it was kind of strange that the oil reserves were open. And his take on it pretty much is that they're planning a major war in the Middle East with Syria. And he could be right. There's no question in my mind that that event cannot happen. There's no question about that at all. I believe that's a very big possibility. Could be any day now. And for what I'm hearing from him and a couple of his sources, by this weekend, he said, some serious stuff could go down. And I don't want to get into exactly what he said, but it's pretty much a weekend deadline. I just found it really interesting that I thought it was kind of peculiar that the strategic oil reserves are being tapped, and I didn't even mention this to F-Town, and then he mentions it on his show. So we're both on the same wavelength, pretty much. Whether or not you think we're both crazy, who knows? Who cares? Anyway, guys, it's 2:30 now. I'm gonna call it a night. Get some sleep. Take it easy, folks, and be well. Bye.